Okay, the first thing you need to realize is when it comes to sales, there's always the original price, the sale price, and they usually involve percents. So here's 20% off, 25% off, depending on whether you go online or use their credit card sometimes. But there's an original price and the discount price, and percents are involved all the time. So what you need to do is set up a table for these. Anytime you see discount or original price or sale price, set up one of these tables. First, you have original price. The original price is the one that's the sticker price, the one that's on the clothes or the item to begin with. And then there's always the sale. How much is it off? So you would subtract the original price and the discount, and then you would get your sale price, the price you pay at the register. Now remember, to set these up, they're involving money and percent. So let's make two titles of money and percent. Okay, now remember, the one that is always available is the 100%. So to explain each category, if we look at the little girl here, original price is 18, so we would put an 18 next to original price. And then you're going to pay $9, so the sale price is 9. The discount, we would have to subtract those two and go back and get the discount. So it would look like this: 18, sale price. If I do 18 minus 9, I get 9. So my discount was also $9. Now for the percent, remember the discount and the sale price. The discount would be one of these. It would look like that, and it would be in a percent. This is the percent you pay. That is the percent that you're actually going to pay, which we usually do not calculate that one. So in this case, it's obvious that they paid 50%, or they got a 50% off discount, and then they would pay the other 50%. Okay, be sure and copy the table, but you could start abbreviating. You don't have to write out original price. You could just write or minus sign, don't forget the minus sign, discount, put dis equals sale price, SP. You could start abbreviating them because you're going to be writing them every time. Some, just like ODS, as long as you remember what they stand for, you could just write odds every time, ODS. Original price, discount equals the sale price when you subtract them. Okay, so let's fill this in. If we're looking at this, it tells you pillows start at $16. So the original price is 16. It also is calculating 25% off. So the discount would be 25. Now I automatically know by subtracting these two that I'm going to pay 75%. But let's look at how much that actually is. So if they want the discount and sale price, we can calculate them one at a time. Now this is why I love this table, is because when you're doing this, you have the proportion in the table. You could put an equal sign between there, and there's your proportion. So 16 over D equals 100 over 25. I want to go ahead and simplify that because, well, I know that 25 goes into 100 one time because 4 quarters make $1. So this is going to be 1, which is going to be extremely easy to cross multiply and divide. So when I cross multiply, I get 4D, put the 4 in front, equals, and then I just have 16 times 1. Divide by 4, divide by 4. My discount is 4. Now I got to think about what that is, and that's actually $4. That would go right here. So my discount for my final answer, discount equals $4. Now it's also asking me for sale price. So write it out, sale price, and that's what this subtraction is for. So 16 minus 4 will get you $12. So I will pay $12 for that pillow. Try this one on your own in your foldable. Take your time and make sure to review the one we just went over if you are confused. Remember, on these there are two answers they're looking for, the discount and the shoe cost. Okay, so I'm shopping at Target, and in my hand I find that my total with the sticker prices on the items is $80. So that means I know that my original price is 80 bucks. So I look at the discount and I'm like, okay, $80. Spend 100 and you get 25. Well, I didn't make it to the 100. So spend 50 and I get 10 off. All right, so I could fill in. My discount then is $10. That means what I will spend is $70. That would go there. Remember, if they do give you the sale price first, you can subtract to find the discount. These are subtracted to get here. You could subtract these two to get back to your discount. Okay, so what the question though is asking is, what is your percent discount? So that would be your X in that spot. That would be easy then to set up because you have your proportion right there. 80 over 10 equals 100 over X. So when you cross multiply, 80X equals 100, and because it's just times 10, you add your 0. So that's divide by 80. So all I'm doing is solving this. Drop those zeros because you're just simplified by 10. So all this is 100 divided by 8. Goes in there one time. So that is an 8. Remainder's 2. Bring down that 0 because you've got to continue. That is a 2 because this is 16. 4 is my remainder. So automatically go up and add your decimal and add a 0. And that goes in there 5 times because 8 times 5 is 40. So I have a remainder of 0. So now I know my discount for your final answer. Discount was 12.5. And you have to add the percent sign because these are all percents in this column, and that's what you are looking for. Okay, be sure and set up your table, ODS, with the $ and percent column. Now fill these in correctly as you go, put them in the right spot, and then you could cross multiply and solve. Check your answer with a partner to make sure you got it correct. Okay, so I walked out of JCPenney's and I had paid $101.50. So that means I know they use this 30% off coupon because it says $100 or more. So my sale price, I would put 101.5. Okay, also know I got a discount of 30%, so it must go under the percent sign, and that is a 30. Now remember, if I subtract these two, I will then get what percent I actually paid, in which I paid 70%. So if the question asked me what the original price was, or I'm like, well, I wonder how much I actually got, I have then my proportion set up. I could knock out this 30%, and I have right here, X equals to 100, and then I have 101.5 equals 70, and I have my proportion right there. Just knock out the 30. I don't need it anymore. So I would then cross multiply and solve. I got 70x equals, now this times 100 just means, that's times 10, that's 100. So I get 101.5, and I must add that 0 in there. Now I divide by 70, simplify it, and now all I'm doing is dividing those. So go off to the side, 1015 divided by 7 goes in there one time. Your remainder 3, bring down the 1, goes in there 4 times, because 4 times 7 is 28. Your remainder's 3, get the 5 in there, 7 goes into 35, exactly 5 times. So then I know my remainder is 0. So my final answer is original price of $145. You are putting the dollar sign on it because it's in the dollar column. Okay, try it on your own. Set up your table. Remember, dollar signs are in this column and percents are in this column. Put them in the correct column, set up that proportion, and solve. Be sure and check with a neighbor to make sure you got the correct answer. Okay, 40% of my 115 students made an A last 6 weeks. How many students then made an A? If you notice, this has nothing to do with discount, sale price, and all that. So this is a part over whole equals percent over 100. Same thing we practiced yesterday. So we're going to fill it in. We do know the 40% out of 100. We also know the total, 100% of the kids, is 115. You want to know that 40%. And then you cross multiply and solve. Equals 115 times 40. So let's go ahead and do that math. 115 times 40. Love the zeros because you could just put them down there and knock them off. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 1 plus the 2 is 6, and you got the 4. So 100x equals 4600. Divide by 100. X equals, drop the zeros, and all you get is the 46 divided by 1. So it's 46. So that means 46, final answer, 46 students made A's. Okay? Okay, set up your proportion, write it out. P over W equals percent over 100, and solve. Check with a neighbor for your final answer. Okay, again, no discounts or original price, so again, part over whole equals percent over 100. So let's set it up and get that 100 right there, and let's start reading. I have spent $159 so far for Christmas present. If this, meaning the $159, means equals 24, that means these two are equal to each other. So I have the 24% savings, or of my savings, which is equal to $159. You then see how much savings did I have before I bought the presents. Well, that means that would be my original 100% in my savings. Okay, set it up appropriately. Think about it. Cross multiply and solve. 159 times 100 means add 2 zeros. So now we divide by 24, both sides. Now let's go off to the side. 159.00 divide by 24. 24 does not go into 15, so nothing's going to go above the 5. but it does go into 159. And I think in quarters, because that's real close to 25. So that means that would be 6 quarters that would go in there. 24 times 6, 24, that gets you 144. That means my remainder is 15. Bring down one of the zeros. Now, again, I just got 144, so I know that's a 6. 144, my remainder is just 6, and I add that last zero. 24 goes into 60. That means 2 times. 48, my remainder is 12. I got to keep going. Add that 0. 24 goes into that 5 times, and that gets you 120. So your remainder is 0. So my final answer, my savings had $662.50. Try it and check with the neighbor. All right, so let's figure out what type of problem. How many more questions did Marco answer correctly than Polo? Marco earned a 96 and got 24 questions correct, while Polo earned an 85%. They want to know, again, how many more questions did Marco get than Polo? So they want to know this other question. So this is not a part over whole equals percent over 100 because you have 2%. All you're doing is comparing percent over correct answers. So I'm just going to put curve for correct. Okay, so Marco got 96, and that was 24 questions correct, while Polo got an 80, and we got to figure out how many got correct so that we could find out how many more Marco got than Polo. So we cross multiply. 96x equals 80 times 24. So 24, I put 80 on bottom because of that 0. I could put that 0 there and then knock it off. 8 times 4, 32. 16 plus 3 more, 19. So 96x equals 1920. Divide by 96, divide by 96. Don't get scared by these big numbers. It's not a big deal. Got to get used to them. 96. Now, 96 is real close to 100, and this is real close to 200. So I'm going to look at it and say, what's 96 times 2? And I get 2 and 19. Oh, that comes out perfectly. That is a 2. That is a 0. And you may not stop. You have to bring this other 0 up here. So that means Polo got 20 correct. Well, that doesn't answer your final question because the question asks how many more questions more did Marco answer correctly than Polo. So 24 minus 20 gets you 4 more questions. And that is the final answer. Again, try it, set it up, just like I did in the last question, and check your final answer with a partner.